Schoolboy Q made it very clear in his press run for the promotion of cRasHtalK that people like me are nerds. And he's right. Gang Gang is the banger and word-slinging schoolboy that I'm expecting. And Q keeps an impressive flow that would have been better if he was making sense. Gang Gang does transition perfectly into Tells though, and Schoolboy Q isn't a stranger to progression in his songs. On deep cuts like Prescription Oxymoron and Groovy Tony Eddie Kane, this would have been a perfect time to create a singular song with the effortless transition. And where Gang Gang fails to deliver, Tails makes up for in substance. Kicking off with the steady snare drum and hi-hats, supported by a simple synth passage, keeps the slow drive of the beat bouncing. And while Q sets up his story with the first verse, describing the early years of gangbanging and what that lifestyle entails, but to use the second verse to depict a hypothetical, where he makes alternative life choices that ultimately lead to the demise of his daughter. I admit it, I hated Chopsticks the first 20 times I listened to it, but after watching countless of seemingly the same interviews with Schoolboy Q, he said something really interesting. To paraphrase, he essentially said that he makes music for everybody, even strippers. Suddenly I had a new perspective. And now I love Chopsticks. I just imagine being at a strip club having a good time. Though, compared to other Q songs, the track is weak. I take it for what it was probably intended to be. Ringing it back in with Num Num Juice, it's really daunting. With the way that the church organs play slower than the hi-hats, influenced by Schoolboy giving one of the most aggressive performances of the album. Drunk balances out the vibes with the instrumental. It showcases a piano that sounds like something that would be out of like a movie set in a saloon. And with the added echo on the drums, it makes me feel almost drunk. I mean, just a little buzz. And Black does a great job of contributing his sound. But can anyone tell me if No Name is singing the chorus with Black? Can't seem to find anything that connects the two, but it sounds just like her. It drives me fucking crazy. No Name, DM me and let me know so you can clear this up for me, please. Lies is so sugary and poppy, it makes my fucking teeth hurt. I've noticed that Ty Dolla $ign has the same issue that Travis Scott does. Every time that he's featured, it sounds like every other song that he's featured on. And YG must be just trying to make money at this point, which, that's fine. It's just his verses are so boring. But Lies remains one of those songs that you could probably put on most summer playlists. cRasHtalK has more than a few quotable choruses. 5200 is no exception. It had me singing, whip, 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 till it's stain on ya. Basically just confusing all my coworkers at my day job. The synth just like reminds me of a robot speaking in its own language. Black Folk continues its really interesting synth-driven instrumental, and keeping it skeletal promotes Schoolboy Q's vocals, with lyrics basically saying, if you're gonna talk about money, get out of my face. I was hyped to see that 21 Savage had a feature on Floating. The out-of-tune minor keys makes for a really creepy beat, even before the bass kicks in. And with the chorus referencing having no legs and turning into a ghost, it makes me think of the graveyard in Lavender Town from Pokemon. And Schoolboy, if you gave me the honor of directing the music video, I would have you and 21 Savage as Gengar and Hunter rapping your verses. Get at me. And Dangerous keeps the vibe going with heavy reverb guitar and then dropping into echoing synth. It keeps you in the space that's focused around Schoolboy Q being stuck in drug addiction. Not to mention, Kid Cudi contributes his contagious hums. Die With Him is a gun-eccentric banger. With blown out bass and a nasty flow, it's a perfect transition into Crash. With the lightened tone, it's like Schoolboy's coming out of the addiction. And with the clear direction, Q talks about his drive and giving knowledge to young men, all while keeping his daughter at the forefront of this process. Water has a catchy chorus and great production from Cardo, and Lil Baby flows like water, while Schoolboy tries his best Migos ad-lib. Attention closes out cRasHtalK in the best way possible, with humble flexes and shoutouts to just about everyone that made him who he is today, while on the tail end of the song referring to himself as one of the godfathers of the street shit. cRasHtalK took me a while to fully appreciate it, but I'm glad it gave it time to live with. It's the right balance of catchy singles and even better deep cuts that really left me introspective. That's why I'm giving cRasHtalK a 9 out of 10. What were your favorite moments on cRasHtalK? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, keep it wavy.